What is up? What is up? What is up, Red Heads? Greetings. Thank you for joining me in another episode of your favorite show, the one, the only Red's View. Of course, I'm your gracious host, J Red. Now, before we get this thing started, what we got to do? We got to play the intro.
Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, don't give up, give up. Don't give up, you gon' be on. Don't give up, give up, give up, give up. I know you got doubts, but get to the bag. Just follow the dream and stick with the plan. I know you get worried.
What is up? What is up? What is up, Redheads? J Red is in the building. I'm here. I'm on time as promised. And I look forward to having a great discussion tonight about a few topics, some of the hottest topics that have been going on right now. Of course, if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to youtube.com/RedsView. Also, make sure that you support. You see that right there? Pregame. That's my latest single. It's a pure jam. I've been playing it, getting nothing but great remarks from it. Make sure you download and stream that. And also, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Twitter, retweet, share. We need as much support as we can so we can continue to keep this show going. But yeah, man, make sure that you support the show. Make sure that you share. And I don't know if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, and then you do watch this, you're watching this on Facebook or you're watching this on Twitter or wherever. And if you regularly watch the show, you should have already subscribed to the channel already. It's like it's no excuse for that, So make sure that you do that. Your support is greatly appreciated. Been waiting to go live about this particular situation all day, but I had to make sure I did it at 9 o'clock so we could have some participation. I didn't want to do it midday. I wanted to make sure everybody supports the show. And then so you feel free to chime in because we're going to be talking about a lot of different things today. Also, have y'all tried this? This is the Ciroc, what you call this? The Spritz, the Ciroc Spritz. It's like spiked seltzer water or something like that. But hey, man, it's real good. Y'all need to try this. Let me know if you've tried this before. I love this. It's 7% alcohol, so I ain't finna be on here. I ain't finna be on here loose or nothing like that. But I just like the way it tastes, man. It's one of the perfect drinks for the summer. But man. So everybody pile on in here because I know folks from Facebook was talking about this particular situation, and I couldn't wait. I could not wait to actually talk about this particular situation because it's been sending social media in a frenzy. Everybody has been talking about it. And it's crazy. Like now, I think I saw this video a couple of days ago. And next thing I know, I look on social media and I see everybody talking about McDonald's. And I didn't know initially that we're talking about the McDonald's baby mama drama. All right. I didn't know initially what was going on at the particular time. I saw the video about the man not feeding the children, but I didn't know that it was McDonald's. So when people kept talking about McDonald's, I was like, what? And then I saw people were talking about, feeding the child and all the other stuff. Sneaky Beanie, what is up, man? What is up? What is up? What is up? Thank you for joining us, man. But yeah, man. So McDonald's baby mama drama. That's the title that you see right now. I forgot what I actually put for the YouTube thing, but if you actually look at the thumbnail, you see some emojis that I put on the face of the gentleman that is the father of the child. So let me get everybody up to speed because some people may not know about it. All right. So there was a mother, a baby mama who has 4 kids, right? How many of them are by different men? I'm not sure, but I know that they're multiple, right? So she got upset that one of her baby daddies brought his child, McDonald's, and didn't share and didn't buy anything else for the other children, which are the siblings. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, whoever, right? But yeah, that's basically what happened. So I'm gonna play a brief video real quick because I don't want to play the whole thing, but I'm gonna share my screen because I think that this is an interesting take on it. All right, so everybody watch this. Watch this real quick.
I bet you he don't even. I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One burger.
Fair use, by the way. Fair use.
Okay, what about my other kids?
What about your other kids?
Okay, but them your kids' siblings though.
So what are you talking about? What are you
them my kids, them your kids' siblings though.
So what you?
So my other kids finna be left out.
You didn't feed them?
You know I don't give my food stamps to the seven.
Listen, how is that my problem?
Hold on, let me pause that. She said that I don't get my food stamps until the 7th. Now, this isn't shitting on anybody that does have food stamps. I say every American should have food stamps, but that was funny. Let me keep it going.
Help out though? You're not helping out.
I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son.
How are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings? Them are his siblings though. He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings and they're not eating on McDonald's. Why do I gotta
bring him out to the car?
No. He's not finna eat that at all if you can't bring enough for everybody.
So you're telling me that
all right, so that's basically the basis of it. Let me show you. Let's fast forward and see what happens at the end. Watch this.
Out to the car. He ain't even got. He can put it, but he come right out to the car and eat with me.
No. You know what? Fine. Give it here.
Thank you.
Give it here. Give it here. Give it here. Duh. He ain't eating this. You.
Why don't you just do that?
Because you ain't bringing up for all the other kids.
Wow. Yeah, so we're about to have a good discussion about this. All right, so where should I even begin with this? One thing I wish is that Kevin Samuels, RIP Kevin Samuels, I wish that Kevin Samuels was alive so he would have had a field day. The Godfather would have had a field day about this, but I'm not going to take his place, but I'm going to actually talk about it. All right. So the first thing that I feel about this video is that I want to ask, do you think it was for clout? Does the acting feel real in it? Or do you really feel that this is something that really happened? This baby mama who has 4 kids by different men was upset that and decided to record and call herself exposing this man for bringing only his child McDonald's, but didn't share and bring any of the other children, which are biologically not his. It doesn't appear that he's the stepfather. He doesn't take care of the kids, but who is in the wrong? That's what people were asking. I know this had made its way to the Breakfast Club and everything, but the first thing I'm looking at, is it for clout? Did they act this out to just get the people talking? Because people do this. People do make up stuff. People do anything for clout. Shout out to Offset and Cardi B. So that was my first thing, right? I think that it probably was. However, let's dissect it, dive into it, and talk about the issues that are in there, right? Now, I made this post on Facebook earlier today, and it got some people talking about it and stuff like that, right? But let me read exactly what I said. So what did I say? So this was my take on it. I saw a lot of people on social media talking about it, right? Most people were saying that the woman was wrong. I don't really know if I've seen anybody say that the man was wrong or whatever, right? But what's the verdict? How do y'all feel or whatever? Feel free in the comment section to let me know how you feel. But this is what I said. A man shouldn't be having babies with a woman that has multiple kids by different men to begin with. Then you wouldn't have this McDonald's situation. Problem solved. Problem solved. That was my big take on it. Now, when it comes to accountability, and we're talking about the Black community, right? For so long, we salute single mothers. We salute single mothers. We salute, like, so you got single mothers, you have baby mamas and everything like that, right? We know that kids are born out of wedlock. That would make you a baby mama. That would make you a baby daddy until y'all actually get married. If the child is born, that you say, call a bastard or whatever like that, right? But the thing is, situations like this happen when children are born out of wedlock. Not even when children are just born out of wedlock, but when children are born into broken situations. Now, it'd be different if those 4 kids were actually his. Then, if I bring, quote unquote, my favorite child something to eat and didn't bring it with for nobody else, you have all the right to be mad and everything like that. So obviously, of course, the woman is in the wrong for expecting a man to bring her kids something, her other kids something that is not biologically his. Now, to play devil's advocate, I could understand where the mother was coming from, because if I have children, they see that their sibling has something and they don't get anything, they're going to feel bad. Is she right about them feeling bad? Oh, yeah. But is that his problem? Hell no, it's not his problem. That's obvious, right? That's obvious. I don't think, if you are one of those people that was fully on her side, then you should go do something. I'm going to just say it like that, right? You should be slapped. You should be slapped. You should dip your head in the toilet or something like that, because obviously the baby mama was in the wrong. Exposing him for one, calling herself exposing him for one, like recording it. Why do you need to record it? To expose him and everything like that. Like, that is an internal matter. And if you feel that way, so be it. But the other thing is accountability. This is an important word for the Black community in 2022, accountability. Simply because, why, as a man, now I'm not sure if he has any other children or anything like that, but if you know that a woman has multiple children by different men, why in the hell would you have unprotected sex with her and have children with her? Simple as that. Why, as a man, would you be with a woman and have a baby by her when she already has children by multiple men? Now, in proper context, I'm not talking about if she has multiple children by the same man, because in my opinion, that's a different situation. Say that she was married, had 4 kids, got divorced, and she's dating again, and you end up knocking her up and anything like that, right? At least all the children have one father. But it shows reckless behavior when a woman has multiple children by different men, not one man. If a baby mama, because you're still a baby mama, but if a baby mama has 3 kids by the same guy, 4 kids by the same guy, you see some type of trust that was there between them, some type of structure, because that could be a family dynamic. It could be a family situation, no matter what legal documents are on the table. You don't have to actually go to Uncle Sam. You don't have to go to the government and say, hey, I want to sign everything. Now, of course, that's the proper protocol for if you're going to get married, right? But you don't have to actually go get legal documentation in order to be a family. If you want to go before God or whoever you feel like your creator is and say, hey, we're together, if y'all have an understanding, because a lot of people actually do have understandings, that is perfectly fine. However, it is reckless behavior for a man, let's be clear, for a man to have multiple children out of wedlock by different men, as well as a woman to have multiple children out of wedlock by a man to different women, you get what I'm saying, and then a woman to have multiple children by different men. That's an imbalance. It's no structure, and that causes reckless behavior like this. It causes bickering, arguing back and forth like this situation. Now, I made this post earlier, and an individual got offended about it. She got offended about it, not trying to point you out, but you know, they said that what I said was negative. This is not negative whatsoever. It's called constructive criticism. The first thing I was asked is that, do you have children? And of course, I knew where it was going. If you ask if I have children, that means that, oh, okay, my argument is going to be, since you don't have kids, you wouldn't be able to judge or understand this situation, so you should be quiet. And in actuality, just because I'm responsible, I don't have any children. I didn't have any children by choice. I could have had children if I wanted to have any children, but this doesn't mean anything about having children or not. This is called logical reasoning, common sense, to avoid reckless behavior. I want to be married when I have children. I don't want to have children by multiple women. I would like to be in a relationship at least when I have children. I want the mother to be involved in the child's life because I know I'm going to be in charge of involved in the child's life. I am a firm believer in structure and family. And the problem with the Black community is that we do not have that, and we are out of control. That's why you see videos like this. Had he not slept with her and had a child by her when she already had children, would he even be in this predicament? Would he even be in this situation to where he's arguing with his baby mama about something that makes logical sense? Why would I give? First of all, because you heard him in the video, for anybody who watched the video, he was saying, I could see if you had 1 or 2 kids. The man said, I could see if you had 1 or 2, but you got like 4 or 5 kids. So naturally, if I'm going to McDonald's and I'm expecting to spend, how much do kids meals cost nowadays? What, $5, $6? That means that if I'm going to buy for the whole household, it's going to up the price. This goes back to the whole thing, like if a woman is going home and she wants to order something for her kids on a date, should a man pay for it? And the answer to that is no. Now, of course, is he legally responsible for them? No. The nice gesture would have been to buy all the children something because those are his siblings. That's what a nice gesture would be. That would be a nice thing. But guess what? He's not legally or financially responsible for those kids. So, of course, the woman is in the wrong for exposing him and then tripping about the whole situation. That's common sense. Like I said, if you agree with that woman, then shame on you. However, as a man, I do feel like we put ourselves in certain situations to do like in this reckless behavior. Why? Like, it makes no sense for you to be with a woman, to have a child with a woman that already has children out of wedlock by different men. This causes this type of reckless behavior to where you're going to be arguing. It causes the toxicity within the Black community that we see to where I'm making a video right now of something that's so ridiculous. I'm making a video right now about something that as ridiculous as this. So shout out. Let me talk to my Facebook fam. So you said red flag, Jay Ward. I'm sorry. I didn't get a chance to look at y'all stuff. But so Jay Ward, you said, but dude probably knows how she is, so he could have grabbed pizza. That's true. Rudolph, you said she threw the food away, she threw the food away. I played that earlier. And yes, the key word today is accountability. Accountability. Of course, the woman is in the wrong, but as a man, you know how she is, and we know situations like this to where if a woman has multiple children by different men, I know what situation I put myself in. That's the only thing that I agree with her with. I think she said, if I'm not mistaken, she pointed that out. You knew what it was before you came into it, right? Sneaky Beanie says some folk just have children and don't realize the aftermath of not being financially prepared. But then again, the choice of lifestyle comes with it too. Absolutely. 110%. 110%. Now, was the WAP good? I'm quite sure that it was. But we can't let good WAP put us in situations like this, fellas. We cannot. You need to be sexually responsible, because if you're not sexually responsible, you end up getting crazy baby mamas that are going to call themselves putting you on blast and going viral, and you're going to be looking foolish. Because to me, both of them look foolish, because as a man, I'm looking like, okay, well, why did you knock her up? Why would you knock a woman up? And any woman that does feel offended by this video, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. We need to start telling our black women to be held accountable for the decisions that they make. We need to start encouraging our black men, telling our black men they need to be held responsible for the decisions that they made, because it takes two to tangle. It takes two to do that, right? So I looked at the woman and I looked at the man. I'm not over here women bashing. She had reckless behavior, but what do you expect from a woman that had all of those kids by different men? Honestly, let's talk about it. That's what you expect from women that do that type of stuff. That's what you expect from women that carry themselves in that manner. She exposed herself. We in harsh times. She throws food. Yeah. And she threw the food away, which that part made me feel like she was trying to go viral, and he was trying to go viral. Because I'm telling you, I don't know what I would do, but if I bought my child something, and the baby mama was tripping like that, I would wait till my child actually came outside, because I guarantee you he knew she probably would have did that. That's why I feel like some of it is like, it could be fake and it could be for clout, right? But I feel like on both sides, you should be held accountable, right? A woman, and for women out there that have those multiple, like, because his whole thing is he ain't shit. You probably knew he wasn't shit to begin with, but you put yourself in that situation. And of course, you could ask her, why do you have all of these baby daddies? Are they not feeding the kids? Where are the baby daddies at? But we need structure in the black community. We need a reset, because for so long, single mothers are put on this high pedestal. Now, I agree, right? Because I come from a single parent household. Of course, I know who my dad is. My dad has been involved in my life, but I'm just saying how I grew up was in a single parent household. So I know how it feels to see a mom in a situation where she's struggling, where she has to pick up the extra load, whatever the case is like that. However, we need to not put them on a high pedestal, because that's not how it should be. That isn't a situation that we should create. We should go away from that. We should go back to families. We should, because truthfully, we shouldn't be having sex with each other until we married anyway. That's just, biblically speaking, that's just like what it should be. But of course it's not. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is, I'm not judging you for having unprotected sex. I'm not judging you for having sex. Do whatever you want, but you have to know that sex is procreation. That's what sex is actually for. Now, of course, pleasure comes with it. It's the best feeling in the world. Shout out to Crystal. Crystal joined in. Crystal, shout out to Crystal. But sex is meant for procreation, logically. Now, of course, do we do that? Of course not, right? But if you're going to have unprotected sex, you need to have that accountability that you could have a child with someone, and that creates another life. So if that does happen, why would you get with a woman? And for females, because I know the first thing they're going to say is, well, a woman shouldn't get with a man that has multiple children. Now, of course, common sense tells you that the reason that this happens, I feel like more so than the other side, is simply because a man typically is not going to live with his children. The man is typically going to live with the mother, right? So in a Nick Cannon situation, you think all of his kids actually live with him? Of course not. So, it's a different situation. I'm not advocating for that. But with that situation, if you date somebody with kids, especially if you have kids with them, you're not just dating them, you're dating the children too, because you're going to have a responsibility. You're going to be the stepfather. You're going to be a stepmother. So if you're not ready to deal with somebody else, and they can see this thing, you can't just mess with somebody, date them, marry them and not have anything to do with their kids. You're going to be held accountable as if you're their father. That's what you should do. And a woman, if you date a man that has children, you're going to be a stepmother automatically. So if that's not the job for you, you shouldn't be dating anybody that has kids. You shouldn't be with anybody that has kids. That's a common thing. So again, with this video, the whole thing is picking sides. Of course, she was out of line, but I look at him and be like, okay, well, you put yourself in this situation. But what do I know? What do I know? What y'all think? Sneaky Beanie said it's appropriate what you said about waiting till marriage. Of course. Now, did I wait till marriage? Hell no. I mean, y'all know that. But I was just figuratively speaking, that's what we're supposed to do, but we know that we don't do that. However, I know that if I ever got a woman pregnant, that I would step up to the plate and do what I got to do. Because I know that me having sex, especially if I have unprotected sex, I know what comes with it. So Crystal says accountability and resources, having resources to take care of all the children you create. Absolutely. In this situation, it appeared the father and the mother are separated. Did she ask him for food for his child? I have so many. Now, this is the thing, Crystal. If you go back, if you look at the video, it's I think it's like 3 minutes or something like that. But she was saying, her argument was, why didn't you bring it for everybody? And I think he said somewhere in the video that he's brought food to him before, but she feels like it's not fair. But the thing is, are the other kids responsible? Is he held financially responsible for the other kids? No, he's not. Morally, and as far as like, would the nice thing to do be to buy the other kids food? Of course it would be, but he's not responsible for it. But also I look at it as in, okay, you lay in your bed, you make your bed, you have to sleep in it. So she shouldn't have exposed him like that at all. She was out of line, and she was really wrong for that. Both of them are in the wrong, in my opinion, because I look at it as in, you shouldn't be in that situation anyway, because that's reckless, and it creates a reckless environment for the children and for situations like this where, because the thing is, think about it like this. Because it's I have it's 4 of us all together. It's 3 of us that have the same parents, and then my dad has another child, my baby brother, right, by my stepmother. So if, for instance, all of us had different mothers, and I'm glad that didn't happen, but if all of us had different mothers, and it's a situation, or all of us had different daddies, right? Either way you look at it, and somebody brought food, and the other person, my siblings didn't get it. My dad brought me something, but didn't give my siblings anything else. Of course, they're going to feel bad, but is he held responsible for all of them? No. The nice thing would be for him to give it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But no, we know what it is in this particular situation. But this is good, by the way, y'all. This Ciroc vodka spritz is real good. But oh yeah, and that's Crystal with a K. Gotta put the K on there. He said, real talk, Crystal. But you gotta put that Crystal with a K. Shout out to Crystal Kennedy. But yeah, man, we need structure. We need to reset in the Black community. This type of ratchet behavior needs to go away, man. It needs to go away. And it's easier said than done. I understand that. But I feel like if I can do it, everybody else can do it too. The reason that I chose not to have children, because anybody can have children, but I knew that A, I wasn't financially ready. B, I have to wait for the right woman. C, I want to be married. I want my children. My parents got divorced. When I get married, I don't plan on getting no damn divorce. It ain't no turning back. So I have to make sure I find the right woman, and I'm not going to put myself in a situation dating some woman that has multiple children by different men, because there's different personalities. When you date that person, you're not just dating them, you're dating the kids and you're dating their parents. That's right, I said it. If you're dating a woman that has multiple baby daddies, you're dating her and you're dating the children, and you're dating the baby daddies as well. Think about what I'm saying. You're dating everybody, because now that you have a child with her, your child has siblings, and those siblings each have different daddies. So the baby daddy drama and all this other stuff is going to affect you at the end of the day. So you have to know what you're getting yourself into. But yeah, man, like for so long we salute single mothers and all this other stuff, right? And it's been so much to where if you comment on it or say anything about it, then people look at you negatively. Like how I made that comment on Facebook earlier today. All I said was, why would you get with a woman that has all those kids by different daddies? That doesn't make sense. That shows there's no structure, instability. It's no structure. Why would you do that? And then someone was saying I was being negative. How is that being negative? Can someone tell me how is that being negative? And I'm not trying to single you out, but that's not being negative. It's called what you're supposed to do and constructive criticism. That's exactly what it's called. So, yeah, exactly. Hold on. What you say, Sneaky Beanie? You say you have to know them individually. Yeah, exactly. Because your child, like, think about this. If you got a child with a woman with multiple children, right? Say your child gets into a fight with the other child and somebody gets to bleeding or something like that. You're going to have to deal with what that father thinks about it too, right? Or think about this, fellas. Say if you decide to have your baby mama live with you and she already has multiple children by multiple different men. If you want to take all those, if you want to buy those children something to eat, if you want to take them to Disneyland, if you want to travel with them and everything, you're supposed to be the quote unquote man of the house. You're not the man of the house all the way, because you have to answer to other men. You have to answer to other men. Hey, man, me and the family, our family, we're going on a vacation to Disney World. Do you mind if I take your child with me? You got to go to other guy. Hey, can such and such come with me? So do you really have structure in your household? I'll be damned if I have to ask different men if I could take their children somewhere, because of course I could be that nice guy and offer it, right? But those men may feel a certain type of way. That's why you have this imbalance. That's why you don't have structure when situations come like that. Now, if a man wants to step up to the plate and deal with all that, not shaming him at all. But these situations like this, where we're all talking about it, this could all be avoided if we make better decisions. Of course, the woman needs to make better decisions, but I'm talking about the man right now, because you knew what it was going into this. So it's about that accountability, for sure. Accountability. Man, if y'all haven't already, man, it's some of y'all haven't. I have these Reds View t-shirts. Support Reds View t-shirts, okay? Now I want y'all, when I have these great conversations and stuff like that, I need support at the end of the day. You got to support the people that put out that great content. Even if you stream the song or you support, send a donation to the Cash App or whatever like that. Of course we get YouTube revenue and different things like that, advertisement placements, but support. That's all you got to do for us to keep this content going up. You know what I'm saying? Get this Reds View t-shirt. Sneaky Meanie, you need to get you a shirt, man. If you're a faithful Reds View viewer, get you a Reds View t-shirt. That's all you got to do. Just shoot me a DM, or shoot me the Cash App or Zelle, however you want to do it. I still got some left. I don't have a lot. I think I got quite a few mediums. I think I got like a couple of XLs and different sizes like that. But yeah, man, these are real nice. I was selling them last year and the year before and stuff like that. But I still got a lot of Reds View t-shirts. So you need to support. Y'all got to support the show. But yeah, man, that's my take on that. He should be held responsible. I'm not pointing fingers I'm pointing fingers at both of them, because how he looks foolish and she, of course, looks foolish. Okay, so Crystal said something very important. She said we need to unpack the word structure and accountability in our community. So great point, Crystal. with structure. Don't you? Black people don't understand that structure means that we're together. Once you're together and there's a great dynamic, a great balance between man and woman, and you have children, that leads to a structure. Now, things can happen, but when you have that structure, the child will have structure, and then the child will choose someone else that has structure. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of us have daddy issues. A lot of us have toxic environments that we came from, and a good percentage of it isn't our fault. It's due to white supremacy, right? However, we have some of the resources now. We have elders that can tell us what to do, and we've seen so many different examples of what not to do, to where some of it we can hold ourselves accountable. Just selecting the right mate to procreate with, to me, that's not hard. That's not hard at all, to choose the right person. Now, things can happen. This person could be all of this in a bag of chips on paper, but once you start dating them, and shoot, let's say you got married and then 5 years later they start acting like a different person. Hey, man, it's a gamble. You did what you were supposed to do. You did what you were supposed to do. But a lot of times, the women, y'all be knowing the type of dudes you're dealing with, and the men know what type of women they deal with. But the sex is so good. I know the sex is good. It ain't nothing like some good sex from a toxic person. We all know that. Come on, man. That's what people was talking about. Shout out to my frat Norman Handy. He was like, man, but that WAP is good. I know it is. Crazy females got some of the best WAP you could probably get. Toxic dudes probably got some of the best dick you could get. But is it worth it? And of course, I know how unprotected sex can just go, man. Of course, we all want it raw. We do, don't we? Everybody does. But at least if you have sex with a person, right, especially if it's unprotected, you need to have sex with a person that you wouldn't mind having a child with. You need to have sex with a person that you wouldn't mind having a child with. Easier said than done, but it's truthful. It's truthful. It's very truthful. We all should have sex realistic. First of all, we should be waiting till marriage, of course, right? But we know that that's not happening. So at least if you plan on having sex, especially unprotected sex with somebody, you need to be doing it with someone that you wouldn't mind having a child with. Now, of course, I'm not judgmental. It's easier said than done. Easier said than done. I'm just saying what we should be doing. What we should be doing. Don't kill the messenger. I'm not perfect at all. Have I had sex with people that I want to have children with? No, of course not. I think everybody hasn't. But structure starts there and not this reckless behavior that we have. That's what that's what it should be. And then accountability, Crystal, like you said, accountability should be, if I go into this situation and I get this individual pregnant, knowing her reckless behavior, knowing she's ratchet, ghetto, whatever you want to call it, knowing she has multiple children by different men, right? If I go into that situation, I have to know what will come with it. And I can't play the blame game. And I don't need my mama, I don't need my daddy, my cousins, or anybody taking up for me or vouching me. After that, your job is to be a grandmother. After that, your job is to be a grandfather, to be the second cousin, third cousin, whatever it is, right? And you need to hold them accountable. Because a lot of times these men be like, damn, man, Sharice, she tripping, man. I should have never did that. Yeah, you shouldn't have. You get to a point, especially you get too old to be making decisions like that. Now, of course, things happen. But you need to be held responsible when you have sex. You shouldn't be and I know unprotected sex is good, but if you are doing it realistically, you don't need to be having unprotected sex with someone that you would not mind having a child with, because the men, our orgasm creates life. And 9 times out of 10, a woman ain't gonna want you to stop either. I've had those experiences when a woman don't want you. She wants you to come in her. I'm getting a little too explicit. I'm getting a little too explicit, but a lot of times it does happen like that. And we know that most people have sex unprotected. We know that. If that wasn't the case, then there wouldn't be all these diseases. How else are all these diseases being spread around? And you know, how else are all these babies being born out of wedlock? We know what it is. We know what it is. We got to do better. We got to do better. All right. So I spent 40 minutes talking about that. Let me try to bum rush through the other stuff. All right. So this Roe versus Wade thing, and it's interesting because the Roe versus Wade thing happened, and then this kind of coincides to, it coincides to what we were talking about. Now, the title says Roe versus Wade. What is it really about? What is Roe versus Wade really about? The decision being overturned, right? I'm gonna play a video. I shared it on Facebook. I don't know how many people saw it, but let me share my screen, and I'll tell you what Roe versus Wade is really about.
On behalf of all the MAGA.
Let me do it again. Watch this.
President Trump, on behalf of all the MAGA patriots in America, I want to thank you for the historic victory for white life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
Play it again.
Trump,
Listen.
On behalf of all the MAGA patriots in America, I want to thank you for the historic victory for white life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
All right, so y'all heard it right there. They kept it a buck. One thing about those Republicans, boy, they're gonna keep it a buck. That right there is what Roe versus Wade, the decision, is about. Now, I'm not gonna speak too much about it because I know it's a sensitive topic. However, what I will say is that is what it's about: white life. I want Black people to understand that although it will, affect us, it's not about us. Right? It's not about us. She said it right, plain and simple. It's about white life. You can look at statistics. You can Google. This is all Google information. Like, you can Google all of this. This has been talked about for the last 15 years, actually, as far as the white race. Their numbers are dwindling. So why else would old white men in the Supreme Court and, these lawmakers and stuff like that want to overturn the decision about Roe versus Wade? Why else? It's because of white life. That's exactly what it's about. So I'm not saying that there shouldn't be an uproar about it and, people shouldn't be upset. But to me, I'm less upset when I know what it's about, opposed to if I don't know what this is about. Now, you say my body, my choice. You say my body, my choice. It's not. It's not. I hate to say it like this, but realistically, they show you this every day. White supremacy is in charge of where you live, where you work, where your education comes from, the food that you eat, the environment that you're in. White supremacy is involved in all of that. And most importantly, white supremacy can determine if your body goes to jail or not. They have laws in place to put you in jail. So when a woman says my body, my choice, that's not the situation in this. Now, how do we overcome this? We need to have us in those positions to be those people that are in, with the lawmakers and in the justice system and in the court system and everything like that. So things like this can't happen. But you have to understand the situation that you're in and not think emotionally, but think logically. And like I said, once you know the situation, you can kind of maneuver differently. What should we do after this? The things that I was talking about earlier, right? We need a reset. I strongly feel that we need a reset. And I'm not pro-life. I ain't gonna be here and say I'm pro-choice. I do what you want to do. Now, I'm not saying I do believe in, abortion. I'm not saying that. I believe in accountability, but if it's a situation that happens and you already know the situations that we're talking about, you got to do what you got to do. But my point in bringing up the Roe versus Wade thing is simply about who they're talking about, who this is directed towards. This is directed towards the white community, because Their numbers are dwindling. This is, trust me, you can go research all of this. Research it because it's out there. Sneaky B, you said that's like allowing dirt to kill the roots. Cringe, that's like can't. Yeah, exactly. So, but you know, no judgment zone here. I just had to put that out for those who haven't watched that clip. She said white life. They're at a point now to where they don't care anymore. They will let you know exactly what it's about. So yeah, that's about that Roe versus Wade. Now let's dive into some music. R. Kelly, man, Robert Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison. 30 years for racketeering and sex trafficking. Black people don't need to celebrate this. Now, don't take what I'm saying out of context. You have to listen to it fully to understand what I'm saying. The way that they locked R. Kelly up and gave him this lengthy sentence is detrimental to us because they're doing the same thing when it comes to the Young Thug situation, right? Now, is R. Kelly guilty? And, you know, have women came out and said that they were, you know, abused by R. Kelly, and was he having sex with underage girls? Absolutely. However, you have to look at what they actually charged him for and what they're locking him up for. They're getting to the point now to where they can call your record label racketeering and anything else racketeering. You have to really pay attention to this. I'm not going to stay on this for too long, but I would say that I'm not judging how long he should be in jail, but I'm looking at what they actually charged him with. And that sets a bad precedent for Black people. You have to really understand that, Black folks. Don't be around here. And I'm sweating a little bit because I cooked earlier, and then it gets my house, like the living room is right by the kitchen. So yeah, it's a little hot up in here. But yeah, so don't be so quick to celebrate this. You know, especially when other people and other race groups have done worse, had whole islands of underage girls and stuff, like underage children. So you have to really pay attention to this. This sets a bad precedent for Black people, and they're already doing it to Young Thug as well. So be careful with that. All right. Hold on. So you said, so yeah, shout. Okay, my bad. I think I muted it. Can y'all still hear me? My bad. Shout out to Coach Johnson. Coach Johnson said, okay, y'all hear me now? Can't hear me. You can't hear me now still? Lost audio? Hold on. Okay, I'm good. All right, y'all hear me? Bet. All right. Yeah, I'm back in the building. All right. So, yeah. So, Coach Johnson, what you say? You said I disagree with the sex trafficking. Some women stayed out on their own. Yeah, that's the thing, man. You know, with the parents should be held accountable as well. But put it like this. You know how with the Young Thug record label, they said YSL is a gang, right? Now, Young Thug, they have him documented saying different things like that, but they're at a point now to where, you know, they have the Stop Asian Hate thing, right? If I'm in a clique full of people and one of my homeboys harasses somebody from the Asian community, and this is something that he does, and they have documentation of him doing that. The fact that I'm with him, even if I'm laughing at it, they could say, oh, that was organized. You were in on it, racketeering. That's what they're doing with Black people. So stay on point with how they're doing it. With R. Kelly, they're doing the sex trafficking thing. They're saying just because he was doing it and people that was around him knew about it, racketeering, sex trafficking. Now, I don't agree with how they locked him up. I'm not saying that R. Kelly shouldn't be locked up because I saw the video back in the day. Everybody saw the video back in the day, right? However, he was acquitted on that. They dug something up, and I don't like how they're trying to make him be the face of pedophilia. I don't like how they have him be the face of sexual assault when you had all these other people in other race groups do worse. You know, that's what I'm not finna like. As black people, we shouldn't, when in situations like this, we all shouldn't just be on the bandwagon and point the fingers and be like that, because they stick up for each other. They stick up for each other even when they know that they're wrong. But like I said, this racketeering thing, you got to be very careful what this will will transpire to. Like when the Young Thug thing happened. Now I live in Atlanta. I know Young Thug is reckless, right? I'm not saying that he shouldn't be locked up, but the label racketeering and saying that the record label was that, when it's a LLC, I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Come on. So you said I also hold some parents for child abuse because they allowed their underage children. Yep, exactly. Of course, the parents should definitely be locked up as well. Because of anybody's racketeering, that should be them, because they knew about it and that's organized. But some people are going to look at it being like, okay, I support R. Kelly and all this other stuff. I don't support what he did. However, I'm not supporting the racism behind how he was locked up. That's what I'm not supporting. Yep, and they may have evidence that, crime took place. And if you say yes, but I had no hand in that, you going down exactly the snitch in the hood. So they want you to snitch on the other person or take a plea and stuff like that. But it's all designed. And for those people who are hopping on this bandwagon, be careful, because it can happen to you. Racketeering, the way that they're going now, they could say that your family is racketeering. They could say that, oh, it was organized. Peep how they're doing it. I knew once I saw that R. Kelly shit, I'm like, racketeering, like what? Sex trafficking? What? But you know what? R. Kelly has Bill Cosby's lawyer. So don't be surprised if they find some loopholes, because it's already loopholes in it. It just takes the right person to get you out. So don't be surprised if Robert gets out free from this one. I'm not saying it's going to happen now. I ain't going to say it's going to happen 5 years from now, but it's possibility, right? Also, he still hasn't went to trial for, I think, something he did in Illinois, I want to say. So this is just one sector of it. He still has another trial that he has to fight. So, yeah, what you say, Chris? You said 100% he's been booking our ticket. Yeah, not sending my child alone. Exactly. They're just as guilty. The parents are just as guilty, and they need to be locked up. For sure. That's my take on that. Let's skim through. Let's go to the next topic. Some more music. So, I had a real good time last week when this versus battle came on. The Ray J... Who was the team? It was Ray J and Bobby V versus Sammie and Pleasure P, right? So these guys, that was one of the best verses ever, and it wasn't because of the quality, but it was because of the drama behind it. Usually, when the drama is there, you're going to enjoy it a lot more. Like when Bone Thugs versus 3-6, when they got to fight, and they got a whole bunch of viewership. But the last people we were expecting to be getting into it, not physically, but getting into it, were the R&B dudes. Right? Because, not trying to call them out or anything like that, but when you think of an R&B person, you think they're more chill, they're more relaxed. You know what I'm saying? But Ray J, Sammie, Bobby V, and Pleasure P have allegedly, well, they formed a group. Now, officially, they said it. Sammie was the one that was pro the group or whatever, but they're called RSVP. And I like that name, by the way. However, I'm not asking for it. Who asked for that group? When I think of an R&B group, I think somebody has to be the tenor, somebody has to be soprano. You have different voices that can carry harmonies and all this other stuff. It don't need to be a lot of lead singers. But this group is a bad idea. If it's a group releasing that, now they went on live, right? And they started talking about how they're gonna Sammie, they were doing a huddle pretty much, planning it, going like they were live, and he was actually saying, this is the first time we're talking about it, but we might as well have everybody in it with us. We're talking about it. And they were saying that they want to release it. We can try to do an EP. They were brainstorming literally on live. We could try to do an EP, and then if based off that response, we could do an album. But what I believe that they need to do is sit the fuck down and go on tour. Just go on tour, fellas. And if you're going to make music together, do a remix of One Wish, because that's what basically what y'all were doing there. Just make a remix of One Wish or make another song, just a single, and just put it out there. Now I'm all for people coming together to do stuff. I was in a group, you know, I love groups, but this group would be disbanded. This group will break up before they even hit the studio. They were arguing on IG Live. This group, it will be doomed from the start. And truthfully speaking, the only one that it will, I mean, it'll benefit them, but I mean, when you talk about monetary wise and financially, Sammie is the one that probably needs it the most, because Sammie tours and stuff. But even on the live, Sammie was saying, "Hey y'all," because he was supposed to be on a group call, but they said that he hung up on them, and he was like, "Nah, you know, I just got this new car, and I got to look at the manual to see how it works and everything like that, because you know it's a new car and I got to see how it works and blah blah blah. And I just got to this point because I've been touring and Versus paid me, and I went on the Millennium Tour and all this stuff. So it was like, damn, like Sammie, I shared a video on Facebook from YouTube, and it was talking about how Sammie's career had got messed up because of his manager. His manager took everything away from him and stuff, but he openly admitted that you know, he's been through stuff and he's just now financially being able to afford things. You know, he said that on his live. So shout out to Sammie for that. I'm proud of him. I had no idea. That explained his hostility going in on people once he was on their Verses. I was just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is with that. Shout out to Sammie. But he's the one that really needs it, because out of all of them, Ray J don't have that many hits, just like Sammie doesn't have as many, but Ray J has Raycon. Ray J is a mogul. Bobby V and Pleasure P showed you how much music they have. They can go on tour. They'll be straight, right? Bobby V has had multiple hits. Pleasure P has had multiple hits between him and his group. Sammie primarily is music. And but like, I like it. Crazy, not crazy. I was about to say Crazy in Love, but Crazy Things I Do for Love. Yeah. Crazy Things I Do for Love, and I like it. Were his biggest hits. Besides, oh my bad, his biggest one I think was the Soulja Boy song, the Kiss Me Through the Phone. Like when he performed it, I said, oh, I forgot about that song, but it charted high back then. But my point of bringing that up is to say Sammie is the one who needs it. If you go back and look at that live, Sammie was the one being the leader, talking about, hey, yeah, we should do this, we should do that, da 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 da. Everybody else was kind of talking about it, be like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that it'd be dope if they make music, making a song, just a single. That's cool, right? But we liked it because it was Verses and more of the entertainment aspect of y'all getting into it. And at first it was annoying, but then after they left and Omarion and Mario came out, I was like, damn, I miss those niggas. Where'd they go? But we do not need an album from Sammie, Ray J, Bobby V, and Pleasure P. Y'all egos are too big. None of y'all, well, some of y'all been in the group, but Pleasure P has been in Pretty Ricky. He was the only singer in Pretty Ricky. Bobby V was only in Mister. They only put out, I don't even know if they put out an album. They put out that Blackberry Molasses, and that's it. My point in saying this is all the four of these individuals have been solo artists. If it didn't work for TGT, it ain't going to work for RSVP. If it didn't work for TGT, it's not going to work for RSVP, fam. Just give us a single. Give us a single. That's it. And go on tour. Because let me tell you something. I would definitely go to RSVP tour. That's a dope name, by the way. But I would definitely go on that. TGT couldn't keep it together. It took them years to actually put out an album. But after that, you see egos got in the way. And that's because none of them were in groups before. It's different. So, fellas, save yourself some trouble. Y'all will end up, you know, getting on a reality show or something like that. Y'all gonna end up going viral. Y'all gonna be arguing. If y'all, the way that y'all acted on that damn Versus stage, y'all do not need to be in the studio together at all. We know how Ray J feels. We know Sammie got a chip on his shoulders. Pleasure P feels like he done everything. The only one who was neutral and was cool was Bobby V. Bobby V showed pure showmanship. He was the only one. He was talking shit a little bit, but he was the only one kind of acting like unbothered. So salute to Bobby V. But everybody else felt like they had a point to prove. All of them are lead singers. You said LSG worked. Yeah, LSG worked because most of those members came out of groups. It was only 3 of them, but you had Levert. He came from the Leverts. So he was the lead singer on stuff, you know what I'm saying? But he came from a group. Johnny Gill was Johnny Gill before New Edition, but not really Johnny Gill. He got with New Edition. He was in a group. Keith Sweat was the only one that wasn't in the group, but everybody kind of took the back seat and let Keith write, and it worked like that. They put out 2 albums, so it worked for them. But TGT, all lead singers. RSVP, all lead singers. Yeah, Keith Sweat wasn't in the group. That's what I was saying, Coach Johnson. And my bad, I call him Coach Johnson because he was my coach back in the day, so that's why I call him Coach Johnson. Y'all call him Jay Johnson. But yeah, it ain't gonna work, fam. We just need a show. Ladies, would you go to a RSVP show? Would you go to a RSVP show? Let's go to the next topic. Omarion looks bad after verses. Now, this is the thing, fam. Verses is supposed to make you get your flowers. Verses is supposed to make you look good. Verses is supposed to salute you and be celebratory of your career. But it backfired on Omarion. Oh my God, it backfired on him. Y'all seen all the drama that was happening with B2K? You know, now I think that, granted, I don't think Omarion is a bad guy. It just doesn't seem like he always seems unbothered. Yeah, Chris says sign me up for an RSVP show. Absolutely. But Omarion always appears unbothered and stuff. But not only did he get embarrassed at the versus battle because, you know, he was doing lame stuff, you know, with the watermelon and all that other stuff, right? But also, he got exposed for not being able to sing right. Mario kept dissing him. And then his group, you know, had turmoil towards him. Everybody posted this video, you know, when David Ruffin was kicked out the group and stuff, which I thought was lame. I thought that was lame on their part. Because one thing you can say about Omarion is he's going to get to the bag. He's going to put his personal differences, his personal beliefs, his personal, you know, whatever it is personal, he's going to put that to the side, personal business to the side to get that bag. When Lil Fizz was sleeping with his baby mama and was in public with her doing some lame simp shit, Omarion was like, okay, bet, I'm going to get this bag, finish this tour, and guess what? Boom. You announced the Millennium Tour without B2K. It was him and Bow Wow. But you know, I wasn't on their side when they were dissing Omarion, talking about he's been out the group and he's this and he's that. I think that Omarion just had a bad night at versus, you know, and that's just what it is. But for them to post these videos, you know, and talk about you got served and everything, to me, that was jealousy. Want to know why? Because if I was in B2K and Omarion, who was the lead singer, and some of his hottest songs, what he's known for, came from B2K, and he didn't invite us to the verses, oh, I would be upset. Would I do what they did, that lame shit? No. Hell no, I wouldn't do that. But that group, look at it. What does Lil Fizz do besides be on Love and Hip Hop? Nobody's checking for Lil Fizz album. He wasn't even a singer, was he? J Boog wasn't a singer. He didn't really do too much outside of the group. And Raz B created controversy to create cash with that whole Chris Stokes thing. You know what I'm saying? Chris Stokes. But Omarion was the only one who kept that shit pushing, who had a career after that. So there had to be some riffraff in the group to where, or as to why they didn't show up to the verses, because I thought that was odd. A no-brainer would have been to have B2K on there, but what was the reason that they didn't have B2K on there? So it shows that it was some turmoil or whatever, and they felt a certain type of way. They showed their true colors by dissing him. And him saying that they're my background dancers. Now, some people felt like he went too far and everything like that, but I'm looking at it like y'all came for me and I'm the only one who's still thriving. Omarion can go on a Millennium Tour by himself. Well, with people, you know what I'm saying? But B2K, who wants to go see Raz B, Lil Fizz, and J Boog? Crickets, right? Crickets. You can't say Omarion without Mario. Crystal, you a fool. But who wants to go see if B2K went on the tour and it's just those three? Who wants to? I mean, not saying nobody would, but come on, man. They're nothing without Omarion. And Omarion went to the bag. He revived his career when he got with Rick Ross. I'm proud of Omarion. I think they were ganging up on him just because he had a bad night. And I'm not mad at him for what he said. He said they're my background dancers. They got mad, called themselves exposing them. But guess what? If it comes to an Omarion show and a Razby, Lil Fizz, and J Boog show, I'm going to Omarion. So that's that. Let me see what else I want to touch on. Hold on, but real quick, it ended up making it look bad for Omarion from Versus afterwards. I just felt like, he just got, a bad look after that. But anyway, Brittany Griner. Now, am I saying her name right? Is it Griner or Griner? Everybody, let me know in the comment section. Again, if you watching and you support the show, I don't see why you haven't got you a RSVP t-shirt yet. I had a link. I had the website up, but I don't have it right now. It's down temporarily. But shoot me a DM or let me know in the comment section if you want to order a ResView t-shirt. Support me, support the show. We need that support. ResView, it look nice. You see, it's me and DJ PM on here, but you need to get that if you support the show. But Brittany Griner. So this situation is real sad, man. Now I see some people have been talking about, she knew the outcome, or she got locked up in the US. Can they really go get her? This is my thing. She got locked up for having that marijuana. I don't know if she had it in a pen or something like that, but everybody is in America. When you leave American soil, you have to deal with different circumstances, different situations. However, I do feel like they're using her for a reason. They're taking advantage of it. Now, some people have been saying, like, oh my God, if this was LeBron James, if this was Russell Westbrook, if this was a star NBA player, a man, it'll be a different situation. You're right. It would be. Simply because they're making other people money. Not saying she's not, but LeBron James is the NBA. So, of course, he helps the economy. Anytime LeBron James comes into town and he's playing a Lakers game, that helps the city, So, of course, the NBA players, like somebody like LeBron James, he got locked up over there. There will probably be some movement. It's very unfortunate that Brittany Griner is in that situation. And they just keep fucking with her, man. Like they extended her. She's not even sentenced yet, but they're detaining her for another 6 months? Or something like that. Like it's ridiculous, but they're making an example out of her. Now, some people have brought up, is it because she's LGBT? That could be a reason as well, because people overseas feel differently about, when it comes to sexuality. They do. I'm not saying that this is the reason, but I feel like they're making an example out of her. And she went over there. I feel like she was over there at the wrong time, with Russia bombing the Ukraine and all this other stuff, man. It's just at a real, real bad time. Yeah, Crystal, good point. She read a stat that only 1% of Russian cases are acquitted, and she's facing up to 10 years. That is not a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. 1% acquittal. And I read that even if you do get acquitted, there's not double jeopardy over there. They could bring that up again. So she's in a very, very difficult situation right now, and it's not looking good for her. Could Joe Biden do something to get over here? Yeah, he could. But he's not going to. And I would get into another situation with that. But bottom line, that is a terrible situation, man. I don't know what could be done with it. It's like when you think about it, it's just like, damn, that's super messed up. Did she put herself in that situation? They don't have to hold her like the way they're doing, man. But everybody has different situations in different countries. And I just hope that there's something that can be done to get her out of there, because it's ridiculous. If this happened in America, she wouldn't be in jail that long at all. Shit. Come on, man. Come on. But it's definitely racism. And it could be something to do with, her sexuality too. I don't know. But of course, I do feel like if it was LeBron James or somebody like that, they would definitely do everything they could to get him over, get him back over here. But yeah, 1% acquittal, ladies and gentlemen, 1%. So more than likely, she is going to be going to jail. More than likely. So this is, it's a real difficult situation. Shout out to DJ PM, man. As y'all can see, Peter McElliott, definitely. But yeah, just to go back to what I was talking about earlier, this McDonald's baby mama drama. Listen, strap up. If you are going to have unprotected sex, which we know that happens all the time, make sure it's somebody you will want to have a child with. Be held accountable. The key word is accountability. Gentlemen, if you are messing with the woman that has multiple children by multiple men, you need to be held accountable. Ladies, if you laying up with these different dudes and they keep ejaculating in you and you keep getting pregnant, you need to be held accountable. We should not be having multiple children by different people. Point blank. And y'all always like to bring up this Nick Cannon situation. Now, just because he has money, they act like men, especially black men, they act like men should say something about it, right? My thing is, I'm not really going to question what a man does as long as he's taking care of his business. This situation I was talking about earlier, the man got put on blast, and I had to talk about his difficult situation. However, with Nick Cannon, if he feels like he can do what he do, go ahead and do it. But I'm not co-signing it. I would never want to be a Nick Cannon. That's too many. Even if I got the money to take care of it, I'm still not going to be 100% involved in my children's lives. Meaning I'm not going to be in their same household. You need to be in the same household with your children. It should be mother and father together raising kids. Point blank. Point blank. And if you got a problem with that, then you got a problem with life. Again, for anybody that I did offend, if you are a baby mama, you put yourself in that situation. If you are a baby daddy, you put yourself in that situation. You did. Take accountability. Don't shoot the messenger. And it's time that we are very blunt with how we feel about stuff and hold our black people accountable. That's the problem right now. Everybody wants to sugarcoat stuff. Nobody wants to say that it's, say what's real. So when somebody like me gives constructive criticism, it gets looked at as negativity when it's not. You name me one thing that I said negative about this situation. One thing that I said negative about this particular situation, because I really wasn't picking sides. I was pointing at both sides and saying what's wrong with it. But yeah, man, I went well over an hour on this particular topic. I want people to chime in. I don't know if anybody watching, if you do want to chime in, I was gonna put the link down there. Let me put this back up. Should have turned this up. My mic was turned low. I think I hit some on my mic or something like that. But yeah. Next time I may do that. I may drop in the link, the StreamYard link. All you got to do is just come in, sign in and do it. I don't know if you got to create a login or anything like that. I think you got to create your name and stuff like that. But I want to get to the point where, I let people come on. The reason I don't let a lot of people come on anymore is, for one, it's a lot of different opinions. It's called Res View, but I do love different opinions, right? But DJ P and me and him constantly do that. But everybody else, if you do want to get on the show, make sure you support, for one. Share this, for two, right? I love when different people want to be on the show. I really do love that. But to condense everything, because I talk a lot, and when you have different, opinions, sometimes it could prolong the show. But please support it by commenting and hitting the share button as well. Because a lot of times people want to come on and give their opinions and stuff like that. But my thing is, that's all fine and dandy. Please support my show. Please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. If you want to come on here and voice your opinion and stuff like that, make sure that you help spread the word about the show. Not just to get your voice heard and all that other stuff, right? Because I really want people to come on, but I want people to support the show as well, because we need that. Again, I still got these t-shirts out here that you can order. We got the Cash App right there, and also stream the single pregame. It's a hot song. It's a banger. And yeah, man, I hope everybody has a good night. Make sure that you subscribe to youtube.com/RedsView. Make sure that you follow me on all social media platforms. Hit that fire emoji if you had a good time tonight. We had some people tune in. Hit that fire emoji, everybody. Hit that fire emoji and let me know that you were messing with it. Shout out to Sneaky Beanie. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hit that fire emoji, everybody. And you know, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share it. Share. But I think we had a great show. Shout out to you, Sneaky Beanie. We had a real great show. I'll be going live again. Of course, you already know. I put my videos up. So yeah, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the family. I'm out. Reds View.